everybody. I'm back. Thank you for tuning in to Just Teresa. This is Sipping and Small Talk Part 3. I hope you enjoyed the last one, Part 2, and Part 1, Sipping and Smoothies, Sipping and Small Talk Friendship, Sipping and Small Talk Marriages and Relationships. It's just so many Sipping and Small Talk segments, and I love it because I love talking to
We're
people.
about to get really real and open right
Yes,
now.
yes.
So I hope you're prepared.
It's going to get real, like she said. This time we're going to try to focus in on relationships and marriages and our tips and tricks. So I hope that you guys who are married or single will put your questions in the comments to ask us anything you want to ask us. We're open book.
And you can give us, your stories once you hear ours and
Yes.
your take on things.
Yes, we really would like some feedback. If you want to know about my almost 9-year marriage, ask me. If you want to know about her 10-year marriage, please jump in the comments and ask Sarah. Dmarieluv been in a relationship for 3 years. In this young day and age, to me, that's an eternity. Because I see people breaking up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we were on and off for 2 years,
right,
straight for like a year and a half.
Well, see what I mean? The struggle is real.
So we was struggle. Yeah, we had that up and down thing.
And it still struggles now in marriages and in relationships.
Yeah, you have your up and down with marriages.
This is why we doing this Sipping and Small Talk segment on Just Teresa, because I love talking about stuff like this. Because I feel like we can educate young people like her, and we can also learn from y'all.
Right.
You guys got something.
In case you didn't catch the sangria last
time. Oh, the sangrias. We're still sipping on them.
Yeah, mine's almost gone. They're so good.
They're good. Don't forget to check out the sangria video that I made so you can learn how to make it too. But anyways, so yeah, we're going to talk about marriages and stuff, and you guys, let me know what you think. Yes. So I guess I'll start. I've been married, like I said in the first video, I've been married 8 years. It'll be 9 in September this year. I have been with my husband it's 17 years now. Yeah. So we've been together a long time. Yeah. And in the beginning, right, you were there. And you were there. And in the beginning, the first year was great. We really enjoyed getting to know each other. It's all brand new. Year 2, baby. Let me tell you, it's different. We started arguing, and that's why this is a real segment. We started arguing. We couldn't get along. I think we broke up 3 times and came back together because God had another plan. Because if he didn't, we would have just been done for good. Right? So there was a reason we kept getting back together. So I feel like we couldn't have got to the marriage, which is why we didn't get married early on. Yeah. Because the 7 years before we actually got married, we were still arguing. Right. We were still learning each other.
Yeah. We were arguing too.
You guys were too.
Yeah, we was arguing and fighting all the time.
Right.
You guys not rushing it.
Yeah.
Ended up being you waited till the right time until you guys were ready to be married to each other.
Yes. People ask me, I had somebody ask me the other day, why were we together so long and not married? Because we were arguing.
Right. You can't just get married and think that's going to fix the relationship. Why don't people ask that question?
Right.
Yeah. Is there supposed to be a time period of
a year or 2 years? No.
No.
Listen, he had to move in with me. I had to see him. I had to see him around my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even let him meet my kids till 3 months. We were in the car for 3 months.
Yeah.
Can I tell that story, baby? Lord.
Yeah. For me, I had to fix myself because I was like so mean to him in the beginning.
You had got out of a bad marriage,
and I treated that with him the same way.
Yes.
So I told myself I had to relax and
I
take
started
it
telling
easy
you that. Why?
Because he's gonna walk away from me, and he is such a good person.
I was gonna say her husband is so nice.
He's so nice.
She
was mean. It was me because everybody should tell me you
gotta
calm down.
But can you guys tell us condense how you met stories? I like to kick it off from the beginning, like condense.
I met my husband at Mercy. I used to work at Mercy.
Everything at Mercy.
Yeah, he used to work at Mercy too. He was he used to sit with the patient. I was a secretary, and he used to see me all the time. He used to watch me walk down the halls, and he see me coming here, stand outside the doorway, and just watch me walk down. I was like, "What the heck is he looking at? Yeah. What's he watching me for?" And then the first time he asked me to go have a drink, I was like, "No."
And then that's how it starts. Yeah. And then you start being around each other more and more. Yeah. So that's how they met. I met my husband because he used to work with my sister at the post office. So I happened to be single then because I had about a year and a half broke up with her father. So I was still single, just living my best life. Hey, I was out in the clubs partying with Sarah.
You know what I mean? Every day.
Because I needed to get past what I had been through and start living again. But I wasn't really thinking about being in a relationship.
She wasn't. She was chilling.
I wasn't. I was really having a good time on Eloise Street. So then my sister came to me one day and said that she met my baby daddy. And I said, what does that mean? I got 3 kids and ain't none of them baby daddy, right? Who you know? And so she said that my youngest son looked exactly like somebody she works with. I was like, what? So one day she said, never mind. One day, I'm just going to introduce you to him. I said, okay, whatever. I went out, was partying a week later. My phone rings. I don't know if I was out with you or not. I was with some friends. My phone rang and it was hers. So I came to the phone. No, I came to the phone. Her name came up. So I picked up the phone and mind you, I'm single now. I picked up the phone and all I heard in a manly voice is, how you taking care of my kids if you in the goddamn club? I looked at the phone and said, I ain't got child support from nobody lately. Blam. I hung it up, baby. Went back partying. So my sister called me back and said, you know that was Ken? I said, he talking about something. I'm out and not taking care of the kids. Where the check? So she put him back on the phone and we laughed and talked and we sat in that car for months because I was scared to have anybody around my kids. And we got to know each other in and out in that car with no physicality. He'll even tell you that the kiss that I gave him was like a sister-brother kiss. He went to kiss me and I went, because I didn't want to be hurt. Yeah. I was protecting my heart.
I think that's the same with Jeff kissed me on the cheek. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up.
No, he wasn't aiming for the cheek. No, please don't misunderstand. But I wanted to get to know him. I knew whoever I was going to be with, I'm going to have to get to know him. So finally he did come in and we got closer and closer and closer. And after a year of just being best friends, that's when the arguing started. Yeah. So we did that for a few years because you still don't know the person that well.
But they tried to stick it out. They always came back together. Yes. Obviously you knew the love was there. So the fighting, it sucks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a phase in
growing
your relationship.
pains. We needed it. Yeah. We needed it. We wouldn't be here.
Right.
We already knew what we learned each other's triggers back then.
All relationship is not perfect. No, it's not perfect at all. If you don't fight and fuss with your mate, it's not.
How you gonna grow?
Right.
That's not real. I feel like if you don't ever argue,
that's not a relationship.
What we do now, because we did all that arguing back then, we don't argue now.
No, we don't.
So what we do now is laugh about the arguments we had then.
Right.
I can't wait till I get to that point.
Right. Because you at the point we were. Good luck. Good luck.
I feel if I start an argument, I go back and apologize. Back in the day, I would have been like, so what?
So I don't care if you don't talk.
Right. Now I'm like, oh,
no, we understand.
Sorry.
Somebody has to apologize.
Yes. It's not gonna happen again. I'm so sorry. See, I'm growing up. Yes. I've grown up. So
over the years, what you realize is this is my best friend.
Yeah. Oh my God.
In the beginning, you still think it's your friends.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you later because my girl will be here in a minute.
Yeah. Nope.
That doesn't come till later until you start growing. So what they're going through, we've been there. Yeah. Now all we want to do is hang and have a good time. The four of us together is pandemonium, baby.
We always doing stuff together.
So if anybody is married and you want to tell us your stories, put it in the comment. Don't forget, get your sangria. Talk to us. That's why I should have did this live.
Look at our men in the room now watching the game together.
Yes, and last night all 3 of us hung out all day, all night. With our space. It was so much fun. But they still got growing to do. They got a lot of love, but they got that arguing stage where they got to smooth it out. It's gonna smooth out soon. You know what I mean?
Gotta be that bigger
but
person.
he is my best friend, and we do have a ton of fun together.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was.
We've known each other for a very long time because we literally met when I was a child. When I was a child, but then he just saw me as a child.
But you're making the point that I'm talking about. That no matter what, y'all are still here. What you're going through is the growing pains of the relationship. So if you can stick this out like y'all do. You'll be fine. Another year or so, y'all ain't gonna argue about nothing.
You right. Tell us, ring.
You said something about you knew him since you were a child. Tell us how y'all met.
Right.
Well, he was good friends with my older brothers. His best friend was, at the time when I met him, his best friend, I was like basically best friends with his best friend's little sister. So I would go to the little sister's house and spend the night over there. Me and my brother Devron would go to their house all the time, and he would be there hanging out with my brothers and his best friend, and I kind of met them through there. And I was like 9 or 10, and he was like a teenager, so he was like 15 or 16, something like that.
You crush on a teenager.
So I thought he was cute, but I knew I was too young, so I just had like a little crush. But he was always like, my brothers were mean and stuff, so he was always really, really nice. And he would like talk to me and like be nice to me. And then I didn't see him for like years, and I saw him again when I was like 15, 16 years old. And he didn't recognize me at first. Like he walked by and I was like, "Hey!" And he was like, "Hi." And I was like, "It's Desiree." He's like, "Oh my god!" And then like years later, when I was an adult living in Phoenix, I found out that he lived in Phoenix too. We ended up reconnecting like that.
Yeah, all these years later.
Yeah, he ended up moving to the same place, to the same city that I moved to, way across the country, and we reconnected. And then we made plans to hang out one day, and it just kind of. But when we first started hanging out, I was like, this guy's not my type. Like, I'm not gonna end up.
You were in a relationship. You had a relationship before him.
Right before him. But even but I just didn't think that. I just kind of already had in my head we were just going to be friends.
Right.
It was just going to be that, but he kind of wasn't having that.
Well, you're beautiful.
I know, exactly. Thank you. Well, let me say this, because we wanted to talk about our marriages and relationship. Now I want to, for us, before we end this, because I know we're 10 minutes in, and I thank y'all for the ones who hear to the end. This is part 3. So what we're going to say on ending this video is we want to give some tips on what we think that she's going to need to do, and all the young people out there who wants their man to go to the next level. Our honest opinion about what we feel like you got to do to get there. In our opinion, at some type of level, there has to be sacrifice. Communication. If you don't sacrifice what you used to do as a pop, lock, and drop single person, that man will never marry you. And vice versa. If the man's still out party pop locking with his, well, I don't know men pop lock, but drinking, hanging out, not respecting the household, coming and going as they feel, whatever the deal is for men. Same with women. If some of that does not change, you won't grow. You will have the same arguments and the same fights. You got to communicate and you got to grow. Communication is key. Women are communicable people.
Right.
As a nature, men will say, just give me a beer and sports. Yeah, but I'm here and I like to talk and communicate. So if you don't respect each other's space and communicate, personally, I really don't feel like the men.
They
now,
just don't even
we
care.
Should make them making noise. Come say hi.
I know. So literally,
if y'all want to come say hello, that would be nice.
JustTheresa's husband has been like a phantom. He hasn't. She talks about him, but he hasn't made an appearance.
To say hello. Oh, y'all gotta see it, babe. Show your outfit. Y'all gotta see that. If nothing else, he'll show that.
Just come say hi, babe, and just
come
step
on,
back out.
Jeff. We just talked about y'all. Babe,
he's trying to hide.
Come on.
My husband's gonna come say hi. Look what he got on. Hey.
That's the guy that she's always mentioning.
That's my dude right there. And here goes her dude.
His nice guy, Jeff.
Hers is doing what he's supposed to be doing, working.
I'll show a picture. He's been on my channel.
Fire department. Those are our spouses, but we even had to learn, like, men like to not communicate. They're more like, let me shut down and not talk about it. Oh, no, because I'm going to keep coming in the room.
My man is the king of the shutdown.
No, my man is the king of the shutdown. So, for me, all I'm saying is, you got to respect each other, you have to sacrifice, and you got to communicate to get to the next level. And women, one more thing for me, and then I'll let Sarah take the wheel, and then Dmarieluv can give her.
It's okay, you already said it.
Dmarieluv can give her a point, her opinion on what we said, and if she'll take any of these notes. But one more thing, what I find with this generation young women, y'all like to be the man in a relationship.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants to hear me say, sometimes you got to let the man be the man. I always let my man be the man. And I make my own money. I have no desire to have a man I can run all over. I just don't. That's me. You know what I mean? But these women are aggressive and mean and shut the F up and get the hell. I've never talked to my husband like that.
No.
Never. I've never done that.
You can't do that because they be like, what?
Well, nobody, men shouldn't talk like that to women, and women
no, men shouldn't talk like that to women. But I'm saying for, single people in general, y'all have to respect each other. Sarah, you got in 10 years in the game and you've been married before. This is my first marriage. So what do you think about everything you've learned?
Well, I learned what not to do with my second husband, what I did with my first husband.
Right.
How long were you married to?
I was married to my first husband like 7 years, but I've been with him for 20 years.
You were young.
I was young.
Yeah,
wow. Yes, I was 16 when I met my kid's father. I was 16. Wow. Yes.
So
and he was like trying to be my father figure. He was trying to be the boss of me, telling me not to do this, don't do that.
She was a kid.
Talk like that. And that drove me crazy. So I said, I got to get out of this relationship. I said my next
you
man.
You were way too young, but you stayed in 20 years.
I stayed in 20 for my kids. I stayed with a man just for my kids. I would never do that again.
That's
another.
So you wouldn't. That's not something you would advise.
I was not happy at all, so I had to get out that relationship. I couldn't do anything.
I'm a testament that you can cordially co-parent.
Yeah,
you can be together and still raise your child in a healthy.
But
it took a little bit of time, but then there was that point when it was just fine.
Yeah. But he used to always tell me that nobody's gonna want me with 2 kids. You're not this. He used to just put me down like
do not care
all
about
the time. And my husband now, he brings me up.
Yeah.
He tells me I'm beautiful.
That's what I say about my husband too. Yeah.
My husband before never told me any of that. He didn't want me to go outside. He didn't even want me to be with Teresa.
Well, that's one of the key. I know. We know that ain't happening. That's another key element when you're looking for a person to be your spouse in a relationship and you want that next level, make sure it's somebody who loves you to your core.
And not trying to be your father.
Don't put you down.
Yes.
And always telling you every time you get dressed, Omar tell you look good. He be like, ooh, she came out for sure. She came out looking good,
Babe, they trying to mock you on here.
But his eyes light up when she come in the room, though. You know what I mean? Because she can come out.
It's supposed to be like that.
And that's the same thing.
He's good for that. He always tells me how beautiful he thinks I am.
You know, and he has to, a person has to uplift you. Right? Not put you down. Right. When you get put down in a relationship, you ain't going to want to be in that relationship. No. Don't let no man just talk to you any kind of way. Because if you let them do that, they're going to always do that to you.
Right. So in order, to me, you have to have all those key elements. You got to make sure the person is respecting you, really love you for you, whether you are made up or not. Right. Just knows your secrets and keeps them and tries to lift you up when you're down. You got to communicate, and you just got to be able to respect each other in general.
And I feel like with the marriage thing, you shouldn't have to rush it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why we did it.
Don't rush. It's just when you're ready. Like, I feel like you can know if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone after the end of the year, after 1 year, but it doesn't mean you have to right away do it.
Well, you know how many people ask Ken also? When you got you a good woman, when you know, because we both feel like we got a prize. So they ask him all the time, when are you going to ask Teresa to marry you? And he would even say the same thing. Nobody can force me. We're arguing a lot until we find our smooth groove. That's what he said. Until we find our smooth groove.
That makes sense.
I'm going to wait this out. We're going to take our time and learn
I'll
each other.
I'll be honest. I didn't get that before because I felt like all this time, like, you should know, but like, you're right, like, you can't rush it. You can't rush it. Because you can't even take it personal. It's just like you got things to work out before you take that next step.
It'll happen organically.
Love you.
If you rush into a marriage, it would never work. Never work.
And I want longevity. I do not want to get divorced. Right. I don't want. I want to get married.
And let me tell you, when a man sees that he got what he wants, it's not all that bickering. Learn each other's triggers and abort. If you know that you saying "get the hell out of my face" is belittling him, don't say it.
Don't do it. Right.
Just say, "Babe, do you mind if I take a minute? I don't want to argue. I'm going to go in the other room."
Take a second to think about
just
what
let me think about. Yes. So that's our advice to you, Dmarie, is just respect each other in your relationship, and all the young girls, and you will get there organically. If you make a man marry you and he don't want to, it's not going to last.
He gonna cheat.
Well, they do that anyway.
They do that sometimes. But it just won't be organic. And you know what I mean? So I think this is our third video. This one's the marriage one. We did the friendship and relationship one, and now this is the marriage one. I think I don't know. Do y'all think we need another segment on relationships?
I don't know. But speaking of cheating, if I find out my man cheated, would you guys help me?
Hey,
help me run down on us.
I'll be ready to kick in the door.
We're gonna get in the car and see where he at.
Fair warning.
I'll be at her door knocking.
A man,
tell him to come out.
There should be no secret, so you should always know where each other is. Again, that goes back to that respect.
One last question, because I know, but I know we have to end the video, but one last question. How do you guys know that you're secure with that aspect of relationship, that your man is faithful?
Because we went through all the bumps in that. We kind of know now all you want to do is be with each other. Because I try to tell my husband to go off with his friends, and he's like, well, no, we're going to bring our wives. Like, they don't want to do that anymore.
Right. Because you got to do stuff for your husband, while you have them to make them happy. Because if you don't, the next chick will.
Or just period. Sometimes cook a meal. Sometimes,
iron his clothes.
Tell him how good he looks.
It smells good. Even if you don't want to do them little stuff, you have to do those.
You know why? Because they're gonna mentally. You're putting this thing like ads for commercials. They keep putting it in your brain to go get this bed or whatever because you're gonna sleep good. It's the same thing. If you keep putting it in his brain. My woman smell good. She look good. Them jeans is showing. Ooh, she looks so sexy, and she's home cooking. And he walks in and food. You know how many times I've cooked and Ken come in and go, "Oh my God." The men are very physical, emotional people.
They
so if they start seeing that more, you're like that commercial. You're putting it in his head that when he comes home, it's his happy place. Work is stressful for men, and the world is stressful for men being black. So home is their only savior. So if they walk in the door and the house is clean and the food is going and the wine is out, they're going to remember that every time they think about going to somebody else.
How was his day? They love that.
Don't ever forget
to
give what we want. We got to give what they want. What we want, they want to. You know what I mean? We want to be held. They want to be held. You know what I mean? And let's just keep it 100. Let's not forget you got to have sex. So all these elements.
I was like, you guys are being so clean and proper with it now. Nice.
Y'all don't want me to start talking about
it. No, we don't.
We can talk about it off camera.
Hold up. Segment 4.
You said y'all was gonna give me advice, right? Oh.
Segment 4.
No, you don't
Sipping
want me to
small
start talking
talk. Wait. Sipping small talk. Sipping small talk part 4.
She can't even get it out.
Keeping the relationship funky. Let's not forget to have sex. I know so many married women that say, I don't feel like it. Why? Since when?
Yeah.
We all get caught up in life. Right. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. And there is times when you're tired. Don't get me wrong. There's times when she's tired. Don't let her Our next video, because this one is already really over 20 minutes. That's going to be the next one. We're going to talk about relationships and sex and marriage and keeping it young. It's hard to say it. Anyways, I hope y'all are enjoying this. Please let me know in the comments. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell because we're going to have more of these sipping and small talks, baby, because this is that keeping it real segment that we love. Okay, so the next one, part 4, is going to be relationships, marriage, relationships, and sex. All right, so stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.